Getting ready to start brewing. So right here I got my pot and I got my strike water. It's at about 160 degrees. Got a mash out of this Home Depot cooler with our screen in there. We've got a nice valve. Gonna hook up some tubing to that to get the water flowing and get it going. So right here we got the mash getting started. Got my water up there and just running it in here. Gonna mix this up really good. Mix it up nice, let it do its thing. Let it sit for an hour and then get the sparging going. So we got the grains and the mash inside the cooler, and not sure if you can see that, but we're trying to be between 144 and 152. You gotta check it in a couple of different spots. We're pretty much right there. I may need to add a little bit of hot water to get it where it needs to be. Just put that top on, let that heat stay in, let it sit. Okay, so we've mashed, and this is the first running of the wort. And we're going to take this, pour it back in, recirculate it one time, run it through again, and then we're going to go ahead and sparge. So I'm about to sparge. Gotta get a little inventive in this small kitchen. I lifted my big pot up onto top of the fridge, put a couple of trivets underneath it, so we've got gravity to go down here into the mash tun, and then I'm gonna have my bottling bucket down here. And this is the lid to the cooler. I've rigged up a little shower head type thing to spread the water out nice, so we got a nice even sparge. And here we go. We got our pot of sparge water. It's coming down to the cooler. Got a little sprinkler head inside there. Both those valves opened up. And coming out here, we've got our wort. All done with the sparge. Our spent grain. Got about 6.5 gallons. Might have to add a little water to this because I think I want 6.5 gallons. I thought this is a 6-gallon bucket. It might be 6.5. It's pretty full, so I'm just about where I need to be going into the boil. Alright, and now we are just about at the hot break. Give it another minute or two, get a light rolling boil going, and we'll add our first batch of hops. We're making a Peach Cobbler Ale, so over here I got a bunch of peaches that we baked. Those will go in at the end of the boil with some brown sugar, and hopefully it should be good. So this crazy looking device is a wort chiller. It's 50 feet of copper tubing wound in a coil, and it's crudely done, but it works pretty well. And we got it hooked up here to the sink. Cold water from the sink comes in, goes through the coils, and it's hard to believe, but this water coming out the other end is pretty darn warm. And hopefully this should cool me down to the temp I need to be at in about 15 minutes or so. In a So now the boil's done, we've cooled it down, got the ball valve open, and we're got a little aerator connected to the end of this tube to help get some more oxygen into this, and that will just help make it make the yeast get going and do their thing that much easier. Also using the screen, so any hops that might come through and any of the other yeast and trub, not yeast because we do want some yeast in here, but we don't want the big chunky stuff getting in the beer, so use this to clean it up, aerate it, and hopefully we'll have a nice clear beer when we're done. So we're off to a good start. We've got a hydrometer reading, 1.050, which is exactly what, can't really see it, but it's exactly what it was estimated to be. And the beer next to it is an apricot ale that Rachel really likes, so hoping that this Peach Cobbler Ale is similar, and it looks pretty good. Alright, and so the last piece of the puzzle, we've got our fermenter, there's the blow-off tube, and that's what you want to see. Today is now Tuesday, and we finished this up on Sunday, and so you want to see those bubbles of CO2 cranking out of there, which means those yeast are getting busy doing their thing, converting the sugar to alcohol, and CO2 is the byproduct. So everything is looking good. We'll leave it like that for another day or two, and then we'll put a airlock like that on the top, and we good to go.